good afternoon, buenas tardes. This is the Smithsonian Latino Center mobile broadcasting live from Danzantes Unidos Festival in Los Angeles, California in 2016. And my name is Rosa Angelica Castañeda. I am guest hosting today for the Smithsonian. And here with me we have Dr. Guadalupe Castro Paramo to talk to us a little bit about her involvement, her immense and deep involvement in the folklorico community in Mexico as well as the U.S. So thank you for being here with us, Maestra.
Thank you for having me.
If you could tell us a little bit about where you come from and how did you start getting involved with folklorico?
Okay. I came from Morelia. I was born in Morelia, raised in Morelia, but at one point I decided to come and study, and I got married and stayed in California, but I had started dancing in Morelia, so I just continued what I had started. And I started teaching in 1971 and in Danzantes Unidos in 1993. So I've been involved for a long time. And then I just retired, not retired, kind of retired, went back to Morelia, and I'm teaching adults de la tercera edad.
Okay, and if you could, muchas gracias. Can you tell us a little bit about how did you start getting involved, or actually what motivated you to continue doing this practice? What motivated you to say like, hey, I'm gonna keep dancing, I'm gonna keep doing this, and I know it has extended over to your professional life. So if you could start with that and then talk to us about what you have done later on.
Okay, well, I started dancing when I was 9, and I started with ballet, and I liked it. But when I started dancing folklorico, I really fell in love with it, and I didn't want to leave ever. So what I decided to do, aside from studying as much as possible, not only academically but dance, I decided to pursue an anthropological career so that I could continue when I could no longer dance. And basically, I haven't gotten to that point yet, but it's going to come when I cannot dance. But I continue to research, so that's the continuity. First, that I was dancing as a child, then I decided, well, I need to have another career that supports dance. And so I consider myself an anthropologist of dance, because that's what I like to research and publish.
Thank you. And can you talk to us a little bit about the specifics of your work? If there's a specific community you have researched in Mexico, or what does your work encompass?
First, I have written the 3 syllabus that they provide here. So I wrote monographs for teachers of dance and focused to teachers in the United States. So they're in English because the material before was only in Spanish. And so they needed something that people here can read. So I did that. But before that, I had published articles on voladores because my doctorate is in cultural anthropology, but what I researched for my doctorate was voladores de Papantla. And I went to live with them and many years, and I kept going. As a matter of fact, I just went back 2 times to Papantla. So I researched what they do, I accompany them to the rituals, and then I wrote my dissertation on voladores. But I've written about tlahualiles from Saguayo, el traje de Yucatán, many articles. I feel that it's good to dance, it's good to know what you do, but it's also better to share with people. And actually that's why I like to teach. Because, okay, it's like if I had a lot of money but didn't share with anybody, what is that for? So that's how I consider what I do, and I love to share it. And no matter what the age.
Okay, thank you very much. And I know you have done a lot of work in Mexico and the United States. Can you talk a little bit about that experience for you? Or what do you see in both spaces? What bridges you in both? And maybe what's unique about each?
Okay, yeah. Well, first, I came from Morelia. I lived there. I started dancing there. I was a dancer when I came in. And when I first came and saw people doing Mexican folk dance, I wanted to die. Because they kept saying, this is from Michoacán, this is from Jalisco. And I thought, how horrible. And we don't dance like that over there. And last night I said the same. The suite from Michoacán It was a disgrace. I didn't like it. But that's because I'm from there and I have contact with the dancers there and the people. But throughout the years, I've seen a change, and this has become better and better. And the teachers, because the students do what the teacher says. They can do anything, so the students are the reflection of the teacher. And the teachers have studied better themselves, is much better. And in the United States, what's significant, I think, is that, look at this, look around, families. Children that are becoming very proud of who they are through music and dance. When I first came, they didn't have that experience. And people, teachers would tell them, what are you talking? Stop talking like that. We don't understand what you're saying. What do you do when you're a child and you hear that? They internalize that it wasn't, that their language was not valuable, their culture wasn't valuable. And I think we had much more crime, because we have a lot of families here. They don't need to resort to crime to be validated. So they don't need the pandillas, because an applause in the theater is way better, is very addictive. And that brings up your self-esteem, and so that's great. Plus they learn about Mexico, and they learn to be good Mexicans in another country.
Awesome, thank you very much. And then as a maestro at Danzantes, can you talk about your particular experience and the opportunities it is for other maestros to come here in this space? And what kind of purpose has this space served for you?
Well, for me, I love dance, so I wanted to keep dancing, and my plan was to dance until I die or drop dead or something, and I have been able to achieve that. And when I moved to Morelia 3 years ago, I retired, went back home. I thought, what am I going to do? So now I'm teaching adults over there. It's a group, it's very relaxed. Whoever can come, they come. If they need to sit down, they sit down. I don't care. But we keep dancing. I have a new family, because I used to miss my family here, my family of dancers. And I left them, and I love them so much. And I miss them so much. And now I have new families, and thing that I'm doing that I love, it's when you see an artwork with feathers, you think it's painted, but it's tiny miniature feathers. And I love that, and that's pre-Columbian. So I'm continuing that. In Mexico, there's a lot of teachers of dance, a lot of groups, but there weren't that many for adults, for older people. The teachers that do that are very impatient with adults, older adults, because they're young and they don't know what it is to be an adult. So now that I'm teaching, they express that they like the way I teach it because I relate to them. So I continue to do that, and I continue to research. So I'm much more into the culture in Mexico now that I'm back.
Okay, thank you. And then a couple more questions. If you could talk to us, in your perspective, what is the importance of maintaining these types of spaces, platforms, for the continuation and preservation of our cultura?
Well, if we didn't have it here in the United States, it would be a disgrace, number one, because Mexicans, Latins, are the largest majority in the United States. And to be able to produce economically, it's fine. You have a career, you're a good worker, but the soul, it's fed by arts, painting, music, dance, all the arts, poetry. So we need that. And it's good that the schools are kind of recognizing that and allowing these kind of festivals to take place. Yeah, it is very important for the self-esteem of the entire group and to unite the families, because this is a family-oriented event. And that's, to me, that's the greatest part. And I love to see the children, their faces so full of pride, and they did this step, and it's hard, and they got it in their faces. Their eyes reflect everything, and it's just wonderful.
Yeah. So with that, it just sounds like you have such passion. What is your favorite part about this? Like, what is that moment that you say, oh, yes, this is why I do this?
Well, you know what? I totally hate the trip. I hate to be at airports. The drives, I hate. When I'm here, I forget about that. And then I hear the music and it's just like, I'm young again, or I haven't ever grown up. And so every part of it, I don't care about the crowds. I think it's such an energy here that it doesn't matter if you push and shove, I don't care. But I'm hearing dances and I'm seeing the faces of everybody. And that's so great.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And is there anything else you would like to share with our community?
Well, I would like for people to take it more seriously in the sense that they need to continue, because there's a point that people say, I cannot dance anymore because I'm getting married, or I got a job and I really don't have time. There's always time. I did a doctorate studying in Los Angeles, but I lived in Bakersfield, and I had to get up at 3 in the morning and drive and get there and then back. If you want to, you make the time, and it should be a part of us all the time.
Okay, well, muchas gracias, maestra. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
This is the Smithsonian Latino Center mobile broadcasting live from Danzantes Unidos Festival. And keep watching us live online and later on for a little bit more interviews. And share your stories at hashtag #MyLatinoStory, hashtag LVM Celebración, accent on the O. Thank you so much and stay tuned.
Thank you guys, this is wonderful.
Gracias, maestra.
Gracias.